Hello everybody, welcome back to Leala's channel and our Girls Planet Goo 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 episode 1 recap show with Leala Beau.
Hi.
Look at me, I'm a rapper now.
You should be on the show.
No.
Better than some of those rappers. No, they were all good. They were all good.
No. Welcome to my super fancy PowerPoint presentation.
Today we're going to be talking to, you look like a corporate thing.
I'm not a YouTuber. I work in an office, so like I don't know how to edit videos like a fancy normal YouTuber, but I do know how to make a pretty okay PowerPoint presentation. So that's the format I'm going with.
That's good
for our recap shows.
I have no idea how to do that. Why you got pie in the background again?
Pie.
Banana cream pies.
And I wanted to say before we get started, one, thanks for everyone who clicked on this video and who might listen to it till the end. I really appreciate you. 2, if you have any thoughts or anything, please leave a comment. People are watching our stuff and I'm like, please tell me what you think.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk to us.
I love talking.
I want to have a conversation, everyone. Because again, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I would love for you to leave a comment. And if you could want to like or subscribe to the video, I think that's something you're supposed to say.
Like, subscribe,
okay.
And put on the bell. August 7th, Saturday is the day.
Oh yeah, today is August 7th. The day after the airing of the very first episode.
What an airing.
Okay.
What, 2.5 hours?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, to start, I've only watched it once. Beau watched it twice. Beau got up and watched it live. It was 6 a.m. in our time zone, and I slept because I had to work.
Call being dedicated.
But he got up to watch and
I didn't get up to watch it. I got up to record it for our own personal use, not for distribution.
Right.
But I started watching. I was like, well, now I don't know when it ends, so I don't know when to stop. So I had to watch the whole thing. And plus, it was full of angels. So.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, the first episode I thought was really good.
Fantastic.
It's so fun. I know there's a lot of angst that goes into the process of this, because your faves get eliminated and there's a lot of crying and like all that stuff. But it's still actually really fun. Like to get to go through the process of this, and watch it live is I don't know.
It's important to remember that as a participant in the creation of the show or on a contestant, it's life changing to some of them potentially.
Right.
But as a viewer, try
and
have some fun with it. You're here to support whoever.
Yeah.
No, I think all of them are working hard. So
definitely.
Keep that in mind.
Here's my mouth. Hi, here's my mouse, everybody. I don't know how to make that go away. I don't think you can.
Think
anyway, so the episode started off with everyone coming in groups of 3. One Korean, Japanese, Chinese member, and they were brought in together because they had something in common. I don't know, it wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
And the groups of 3 that they came in is called a cell, and that means that they sat in those groups of 3 in their cell.
You immediately started thinking, here comes the rules.
I know.
Rules.
Like, oh
it was fine. I thought it was fine. It was a clever way to get them together.
So they all meet each other, they realize how they're what they have in common, and they bond and everything, and then they learn that, in this group of 3 you'll be eliminated together, so it's kind of weird. But anyway, I'm not overly concerned about that process, whatever.
I think it's a lot of technicalities to give some fluff to the show. It'll still come down to who's
I don't
good.
like the rules process when it gets confusing, but throughout the process of these first performances, the judges will pick top 9 candidates, and those top 9 candidates, whoever, I guess, the final from that group of more than 9, will get a chance to change their cell. Again, that just sounds like a lot of drama to me. I don't understand it. Aren't you going to hurt somebody's feelings?
Yes.
I feel like you're going to drag me down, so I want out of my cell with you.
There is a very key moment, granted it could be Mnet editing, where 3 girls are holding hands during this announcement.
And then they stop.
And as soon as they say it, but you might be able to change your cell, they were like, oh, and they kind of pretended like, oh, it's because our hands were sweaty. It's like, no, it made it look like they were like, maybe we shouldn't be friendly with each other, just in case you suck.
I didn't like that. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. The girls at this point have a ranking between 1 and 33 for each of their K group day, whatever. That was decided by the judges based off of their Signal Song performance audition, and that's how they chose the centers for everything we've seen.
I think it's fine.
So all the stuff that happened with the Signal Song happened before the show started, and fine. I don't need to see it. It's like fine.
It's a long show.
It's going to be a long.
To cut a lot of stuff out. That's
we've got
fine.
a journey to go on.
I
Everyone.
completely agree with them just cutting that stuff out.
There's that. That's the important stuff. So what will go on from here? We'll talk about all the performances, and then at the end we'll talk about like,
let's
what
not rule.
next.
I don't think anybody should worry too much about the rules. I think you're going to get your favorites.
I don't think so either.
The good ones will float to the top.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't really get too fussed about it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So performances. The first performance we had was from the C group called Visual Killer, and it had Shin Shouting. Again, disclaimer from last time, we might pronounce names wrong.
Yeah.
She was the center from the C group in the Signal Song performance.
So she was number one,
She
right?
was number one,
Yeah.
ranked by the judges.
She was the ballroom dancer.
She was a ballroom dancer, competitive. She's like super experienced. They showed
Very pretty.
them working together. She's so pretty.
She could be a model.
Like unreal, unreal. They performed the song "Rumor" from Produce 48, which again I love. Like legitimately love that song. That song is so good, and the sound of it, you know.
Yeah, but go back and listen
to... It is
to
Umbi's song.
Umbi's voice in that, how much 100 times better. I can see why Umbi was a favorite. You don't realize the difference in singing quality. Granted, the Chinese contestants are singing in Korean, so they don't have the pronunciations down and stuff. And I don't know what it should be properly, but according to what people are saying. But that's brave. That's hard to do.
It was an interesting choice. Again, I love that song. Their vocals they struggled a bit with the song and with the vocals in general. I think one thing to keep in mind as we go throughout this and talk about all these performances, we've seen the edited version that's in the show that shows all the reactions and everyone.
Yeah, that's
They
fun.
literally cut to the vocal coach making a stink face every time somebody like maybe didn't hit a note correctly. It was like they let you know that someone maybe hit a sour note.
Yeah, they're editing.
It's, you know, but there's also videos up of the unedited performances that you can just listen to it where those little mistakes aren't highlighted as much and kind of like get a vibe for like how they overall sound. Again, and two, my other disclaimer I want to talk about when we talk about vocals throughout this whole exercise is that these girls are singing live with no backup. The mics are really raw and really hot.
Meaning their volume is very loud.
Meaning this is not, if Eyes One came out and sang, it wouldn't sound like this because they don't perform like this. Like regular groups in a normal setting on a music show or whatever, they have backup vocals, they have it beautifully mixed. This
maybe a crowd sound sometimes.
Like this exists not to make a beautiful performance. They're kind of turned up more just so that you can even hear them more than you normally would.
Right.
To kind of judge. So they're performing under the harshest circumstances you can.
Yeah.
Sincerely, I you know what I mean?
And that's why she stood out. The rest of them sounded
anyone
okay.
who gets through their song, does it with confidence and with some volume, even if you do hit a sour note like that, everybody has a bad day. You know,
which is why the rap performances and rap songs will often sound better is because you can't hit a sour note necessarily with a spoken word as much.
So like I think everyone like take it with a little bit of like, you know, not a grain of salt, but understand that they're performing in like the harshest environment here. So again, these girls didn't sound super great.
She was
vocally,
a little shaky too.
And she was a little shaky too.
Good.
But her dancing was amazing.
They're all good. They were all
I thought she showed really good leadership skills with
she
her
came
group.
out of nowhere. I was like, who is this?
And she was just super lovable and likable.
She's helping everybody out.
I thought they did good. They didn't blow me away, but I thought she was really good.
That's how you be a powerful stage presence, confident. They're using that word fierce all the time without off stage having a persona being mean or whatever.
Oh, and the names that you see here in my presentation that are in purple are the people who got top 9 candidate from each group.
You're so smart.
So she's the only one that did. I thought she was amazing.
Everybody, my wife is so smart.
Anyone, that's all I have to say about that group, really.
Good.
The second group was the J group Crystal Girls that did Twice's song Fancy. This had 2 of our top 10 faves in it, Urena and Rurika.
And they were in the top 9, but top 10. But I think even higher of them now. I think
Urena. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. She was amazing. Yeah. She sounded and looked like a pro.
And do yourself a favor, go watch just the performance version.
She sounded like a pro.
It's not perfect, of course. It's still a Twice song, so it's the singing is all over the place.
It's very high.
They have a lot of switches and stuff.
And again, no backing vocal. It's very unforgiving, everyone. It's very unforgiving.
There is no auto tune in use here, people.
I don't think there's any reason to
somebody
believe
was saying
that.
And it's like it is possible to do live. Just because she's saying decent doesn't mean she was auto-tuned.
I don't think that anyone.
Just go listen and you'll hear it.
And I will say this for my other fave, Rurika. She sounded good. She had moments of shakiness, which is like understandable. But
she's the one on the right.
She did do the high note, and I thought she kind of killed that.
Yeah, she did all right. Yeah, she did good.
Her dancing was like good, but they did nitpick her on her dancing.
Her dancing was a little nervous or something.
A little underperformed.
Yeah, she could have. Yeah,
a little bit understated. She could have had a little more oomph to it. So I can see she has some room for improvement. Even though I do like her, I was blown away by Irina.
She's just pretty.
Goodness. Oh my goodness,
that poise. She's an idol. She looks like an idol. Good. Was she from another group? I can't remember or something.
I can't remember.
And this is a C group?
Maybe J.
Oh, see this again. Singing in a language is not theirs unless they speak it. That's not easy.
That was all I had to really say.
Go listen to the performance one, and I honestly wasn't that high on them. I thought they were pretty cool. But the performance one, I actually was like, okay, this sounds good. That was a cover of Twice.
On YouTube, the full version videos, they don't have the context of all the editing and the reactions from people and stuff. To color your perception of it.
One of the funniest things, the difference is they go that ooh part. Ooh. It's Diana would go, ooh. They do it a couple times a song, and they go, It shows you that's a pre-recorded probably little boop they use live because it's such a particular sound, so it's hard to make.
It was good.
Yeah, they were good.
It's a good song choice too.
Yeah,
I think
they were all pretty and.
The next group we have was called Cuties. I don't remember them being called Cuties, but they were a group of 3, K group that did Aespa's Black Mamba. Again, coming out of the gate, picking one of the hardest songs that I think you could pick. Isn't there 4 in Black Mamba too? There's four in Aespa, yeah. So they did it with 3.
Aespa.
Again, hard song.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's a computer-generated group, kind of. It's like, there is such filtering done on their voices and stuff. Right, jeez.
Yeah. But they kind of killed it. I thought they did very good.
I thought they did really good.
They did really good.
Again, watch the performance.
On Jungmin, who's the one
I was blown away by her.
I picture here on the screen.
Idol. That's an idol.
Wow. She sounded great. She did great. They killed the dance.
Beautiful, pretty.
I think Chaehyun on the left here had a little bit of a shakiness in her high note.
Yeah.
But again, that kind of stuff can happen. It's not like the end of the world. They were doing a difficult song, so for doing a difficult song, I thought they kind of
Chaehyun or Jungmin. I don't even remember. I was like, who's this? I thought that she looked differently. She has her hair and she kind of looks, it makes her, it's just an interesting head shape. She has an interesting look, she's very pretty.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, okay, she'll kind of sing it. But I was like, no, she's an idol.
She kind of killed it. Yeah.
It sounds great, yeah.
That group. The next group was a duo K group
so cool.
that did NCT 127's Kick It. Killed it. They both got into the top 9. I thought that they totally owned it. They did a boy group song, and a difficult one at that. People, you shouldn't underestimate how difficult SM group songs are, especially NCT and stuff.
Nuts, yeah.
They're not playing around. Those dances are hard, and they're hard. The vocal parts are hard, but they kind of killed the rap. They killed the stage presence. It was really fun.
What's interesting is it Soo Youngjin on this? Is she the same name as that last lady?
I don't know which one is Gia.
Okay, but isn't that same last name or same name as the previous?
Younggoon is the Younggoon is the one on the left, I believe, and Gia on the right.
I need to figure that out now because she was one of the
other way around.
The one on the right.
I'm sorry, I don't know. But yeah, the one with the bangs. She was so funny in the beginning.
Yeah, this is
when they were talking to the judges. She had hair that had gotten onto her
so
mic.
Silly.
And he was like,
she was nervous.
Jingu, the host guy, was like, "You can move that," and she was like, "Oh, okay." And then finger guns at him. Oh my god!
It was a nervous, silly thing that was a little goofy. But
killed me.
But here's a point I want to make. She's on the mega level that a girl later we're going to talk about, my favorite from Japan, number 1 from Japan. She's on that level of dance and rap.
Okay.
The difference is she's showing a bit more of a personality. The number one from Japan, we'll talk about her later, I think could learn a bit from this girl. Being not goofy or anything, but just give... She was so intense dancing, like she was trying to do the stairs. So was the girl on the left. She had the singing parts was a little harder, and she wavered at that in that hard dance.
That's okay.
But she's such a, the one on the right was such a good. Some of these girls
Stage
in this season
presence,
you're an idol. You come out, you show 4 different sides in one 10-minute thing, 4-minute thing, and she did that. Yeah, and she killed it. And as soon as she was done with the performance, she stood up and was goofy again. And it's like. You accept both sides of that of an idol. That's their job. So I thought she was amazing. Good. And they're super pretty. She had the feathered hair at the end on accident, and she just looked like she had exercised.
Yeah, and everyone's hair was like everywhere.
I like that she looked like she put something into it. Really good. Okay. Really good.
So next up we have the December Girls J Group.
This is a surprise.
They did G-Idol Dum Dee Dum Dee. It has Marshmello.
Faya.
Who did Faya. And Nagomi.
What did Nagomi do? I don't remember her.
I don't remember Nagomi.
Her intro video.
Intro video or anything before.
But she was a surprise.
Yeah, I agree. On this one, I know Mashiro is pretty popular, like quite popular from the J Group girls. But I was really more impressed with Nagomi in general. Yeah, I thought they did well. Like I'm kind of biased because I'm not a big fan of that song in general. Yeah. but I thought they did good. I was impressed with Nagomi.
Yeah, she looks like Regina Spektor, so I keep thinking she looks like...
Right.
She's very pretty, but she has a different look and stuff like that. I don't mean to harp on the looks or anything, but the judges do. But she had a strength to her arm she showed a couple times.
She's got guns. Girl has guns.
I don't know if she was the abs one, but there's a girl with abs. Remember the abs girls?
Do you lift, bro?
Yeah. Well, it's like they're like strength exercising, but they were so...
They were good.
They were good. It was a package.
It wasn't my favorite.
No, it wasn't a top 10 or anything, but they were... You were like, isn't somebody going to be really horrible at some? No. Well, some of them.
Yeah. So that was kind of my own.
Really cute. Go watch the performance video.
The next one was one of the ones that wasn't my favorite. The K group called Shooting Star. They did KDA Pop Star, which I love KDA. And I love the song Pop Star.
Again, hard song to do.
Difficult song. This group was
another 4-person group. They did 3.
Yeah, but there's not necessarily like a choreography for this because it's KDA.
Yeah, they do a dance part.
This group had 2 girls, the Kim Daeyeon and Ye Young, were ranked number 1 and 2 out of all the K group girls.
Oh, really?
And Sooyeon, I don't remember. Sooyeon here with her purple, she got to the top 9. She's the one in the orange pants.
Who did the rap? The most of the rap that was really like...
I honestly don't remember.
I thought it was a girl in the middle.
I don't really remember.
Okay, I need to watch it back.
But Sooyeon got to top 9. The girls that were ranked 1 and 2 that were in this group didn't get top 9.
Right.
I thought in general they did well, of course, but they didn't have a lot of presence or didn't stand out a lot to me.
You have to with this song.
For having been ranked number 1 and 2 previously. I was kind of like slightly, I guess, underwhelmed by them, but certainly not bad.
The judges at some point, I can't remember when it was in the show, even if it was an intro video or whatever, some video, they said, these girls, if you're number 1, you're in the top 10, you're high up already. When you do this next performance, we want to see some kind of an improvement. Right. And so that was their way of saying these 2 were 1 and 2, but they weren't bad. They just didn't do anything more. This girl actually got up and did. Kim Sooyeon did a little bit more and improved, and so I agree with it. I remember the song. I think they did it pretty well. You have to watch the performance video. That's a hard song. Give me a break.
Difficult song.
Why are you choosing these hard songs? I mean, come on.
Next group, Burn Crush, J Group. They did Blackpink's Boombayah, which, if you're a Produce 48 fan, is kind of like a legendary song in the Produce franchise.
Have fun doing it.
The Produce 48 Boombayah.
It's a good watermark song of quality.
They just slayed from the beginning to the end.
I mean, Hikaru does.
Hikaru is the one who is ranked 1 for J Group. She was the center here on this.
I can't tell what it is.
Absolutely slayed.
Is she? My stomach. Sorry. Can you be cute and tough?
She's so cool.
And cool.
She's cool.
But this is Hikaru was telling. The one thing I can't place about her though is she is so proper when she's not in form. When she's not performing, she's so polite.
She's
a little
pretty
cute,
reserved.
Really reserved, which I'm cool with. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but I think they will notice that if she doesn't come out of that box, she doesn't come out of that box a bit, they might make an issue of it. But as a performer, she just does it. She looks like somebody who didn't only get it down, but she got it down so well that she had some time to work on putting herself in there. So she's fantastic. And I like that she's not she's short, got short hair. She's not the usual idol. They're tall and pretty. She's not Wanyang. She is herself, and she owns it.
Yeah. I thought she did great. She's such a good rapper. Like, her voice and everything is so good. It was a good song choice for them as a team, and again, not necessarily an easy song by any means. And
the dance
certainly
is tough,
one where anything with Blackpink, you're being measured up against the original, where it's like it's hard to meet that that
You've
expectation.
You've got to carry off this kind of
You can do that and then own it and like do well. Amazing.
You've got to pull off Girl Crush hard, because she had brush on her shirt, and I was like, "What is she talking? Burn Crushes." It was cute. She made a band shirt before that. I thought that was so cute.
Maybe.
Once I realized, and she's just so fun to watch. She's shorter than everybody, so she'll fade in the back, and you're still back there, looking at her. Oh, look, she's so fun.
She is tiny, but she doesn't seem tiny because
no.
she has got a good presence.
I love this outfit too.
You don't look at her and think, "Oh, she's tiny," even though she is. Like she had a good presence.
There's a part in the end when they're dancing, and you don't have it in the GIF here, but there's a part where I don't know if they're going down the line or whatever, and she has to, it's almost an improv moment where they interact with each other.
Yeah, that looking at each other.
And she turns behind her, not this Rambo part, it's similar to that.
Right.
She turns to the girl to our right, which is her left, and smiles at her.
Right.
Like, we're just having a good time. And I'm like, she just threw that in there.
Yeah.
And she's
good facial expressions, good,
I love her.
Killed
her. Whatever she does, she's going to do something.
Yeah.
If she's not
I can't wait to see what else she does.
Yeah.
The next group was
I
Monster
love this
Baby.
This is so good.
We had another one of our favorites, Chaeyoon, not Chaeyeon. I had called her Chaeyoon. I think it's Chaeyoon with the short hair.
She's so adorable. You didn't get her in the shot. No. She's not in this shot.
Yes, she is. She's to the left.
Who's in the back? The singer. We'll talk about it.
They did 4 Minutes Crazy, which is an older K-pop song, which I thought was actually a really good choice of song. Like,
it fit them.
It was
perfect.
A really fun song. They slayed, and they're called Monster Baby because they're children.
Now the girl on the right is one of the younger ones, right? But I'm like, this girl's how she has experience or something.
I can't remember, and I'm sorry for not looking that up before we started talking. If she is the member who is from a previous group called Buster.
She's good.
The one with the long hair on the left here. I mean, on the right here.
She sang too.
Her. The other girls did kind of rapping. She did the main vocal part. She had a little waver, but she has a really high, girly, very young sounding voice. But I thought she did well.
Look how she whips her hair there.
And her hair whips out of this world. Like, she is such a good dancer.
Yeah, I was blown away by her.
She's such a good dancer.
I'd have to probably put her back.
Like,
now
she
that I've seen it a
is
few
so
times.
pro.
And this baby in the front, the one who was growing in her teeth, literally.
Yes.
She sounded great.
With her two braids. They killed it.
I have to say, this was the most twerking I've seen in a I haven't seen a video with twerking.
I will say,
do people twerk anymore?
Well, because it's an older song, so it's kind of
I thought it was kind of, I was like, wait, are they
retro.
twerking?
They're all grounded.
Yeah, you're going home.
They're
and
all
going
grounded.
straight to bed. No Nintendo Switch.
No Nintendo. They're all grounded for that twerking.
But they did so well.
But they did really well. And I love it. And they all four got top 9.
Of course. Well, they had that cute moment where I was trying to trick you.
They were playing it off like they weren't going to give it to Chaeyoon at the end, so they made her cry.
When I saw that, when I thought they're kicking her out because they've done it a couple times now. You don't know; it's a roll of dice. I thought this is going to hit hard. I'm at my age, sitting at like 7 in the morning. I'm going to be so upset if this cutie adorable, who's so good. This group came out, and it's like watching people who have hit that point of practicing that it's got muscle memory and flow. Right. They're in the pocket.
And
they're so good.
I also wanted to mention
it wasn't perfect, but it was so good.
I think on there is Yeso.
Yeah, she was great.
Her mic pack fell out.
She fixed it.
For someone who isn't a pro, that could be really it could really stress you out and make you distracted. She didn't waver.
Now watch what she did when it happens. She grabs it and moves it when she knows she's going to do some jerkier motions. She's thinking.
When she turned her back to the camera, she put it in her pocket. She handled it like a pro, and seriously, like some of the girls, like a small mistake can really throw you off. I'm sure, especially if you're nervous or if you haven't done it a lot. She handled it like a pro. They're great.
Here's the thing. What's interesting about that too, real quick, is that she that's why I thought she might have had experience or something like that.
I think she was in a group previously, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because she knows at that moment, while she's doing that, she's thinking, where can I put... She's having a whole conversation while she's doing it. And you can only do that when you've got muscle memory.
Yeah.
And what she ended up doing, I saw, and you know what she's thinking, if the mic falls off, I'm just going to dance my ass off. And she went kept going. She was great.
I was so impressed by this. I can't
And they were adorable, but no more twerking.
Okay.
Get these out. Who what the?
So
why is that GIF all messed up?
Why is it all messed up?
Move your mouse occasionally.
My goodness.
They're hacking you with cuteness.
We had the twins.
Move your mouse.
Why is it acting
Don't worry,
out?
just move your mouse occasionally. It's like a pause. The twins are messing with you.
So you had the secret twins.
I kind of like that. They're like, ah. That's how they make people's brains.
I'm
just
sorry.
Use
What is
your
going
short
on?
circuit.
We had the secret twins. They performed WJSN Chuck Holmes' song "Hoof," which is like a really silly kind of like kitschy song.
I thought it was perfect for them.
They, oh my god, iconic, legendary, never
here is
brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping,
So,
never been seen before. Like
this is an important one to watch the
whole
performance, but
episode.
later. And watch their whole thing.
The whole context.
What they were doing.
Why are the gifts glitching?
Don't worry about it. You just have
Okay.
to move the mouse occasionally, like every 5 seconds.
Okay.
There was a 4-layer skit, I guess, that went on.
Everyone talks about Mnet Evil editing, but let's give them something here. Like, let's give them a little bit of credit. Oh my goodness, this gift thing is going to drive me crazy. They know how to tell a story, and with the girl with the twins, this whole thing was like a 3-act play.
It was amazing.
From when they came out, they talked to the judges about being twins, about how to tell them each other apart.
Okay. So at this point in the show, you're thinking, how many more badasses are going to come out here and be cute and cool, or are we going to see a trap? You don't know. They came out like some kind of amazing. What's that called when you take an intermission at a play?
Right.
As soon as they walk out, everybody wakes up. People start laughing. This is the power of a good comedic duo with this unique.
Right.
Came out and immediately everybody's smiling and having a good time.
Right.
Immediately, as soon as they
Everybody
walk out,
loves
people are
them.
laughing, and they were sitting in the stands. They weren't not there. They didn't surprise anybody. But as soon as they came out, they had this saying where they start talking about the fact that she was upset because the other twin wasn't nodding her head or doing her head on time. So
Right.
they cut to the little film which they were watching. It looked like because they came back from film, and she says, "All right." And she held up her hand like she's. Or anyway, so she said, "Let's do the dance." They do the dance. So the joke is building. The dance is over, and you think, here comes the criticisms because she hit that note that was so horrible. They know it's a gimmick and everything. The judges are going to judge them. You think it's going to be bad. And the first thing the judge says, you know what, she was nodding her head wrong. And the other twin gets so angry, she holds up her fist. So that first joke, first punchline, right? And it goes on. And then you're like, all right, well, now let's get to the judging and tell them how. They're just going to be like, all right, you guys aren't good. Bye. And you think it's going to be kind of sad, but, the twins have dealt with this kind of stuff. But no, what's his name says, could actor, handsome robot guy, says, can you do it again? I'm, well, what is he asking with no music? So they count it off, and they start doing their heads, and the other twin does her head wrong. And she says, stop. She did it wrong that time. Another punchline, and you're like, oh my God, how can this end? And the twin who was, the mother of the two kind of acting, I think the older one, was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Now we're even. Another punchline. And you're just like, these two are not K-pop level singers and dancers. Dancing's not bad. They have a persona and a shtick and a thing going. They could do this for 40 years, like Lucille Ball.
They're
just genius.
They're genius.
I don't think, I think there is some planning there, maybe some acknowledgement, but it's subconscious because they're twins. Oh, and I missed the other punchline where they said, have you ever been apart? And she said, yes, yes. And at the same time, while we're in quarantine, they say it at the same time with the same tone of voice. It just blew me away.
You've just their whole segment, like I said, is just edited, and it just tells a story of like a 3-act play, and it's just so amazing. But they just deadpan. That he's like, oh, have you two ever been apart? Like, it's a serious question.
It made me kind of sad.
And she was just like straight face. Yes, we've been apart when we were in quarantine.
At the same time, when we were in quarantine. Not only did they say when we were in quarantine and one word map, no, they say the whole sentence together. They didn't plan that out. How did they know he was?
So the answer was yes. The first time ever to be there. That was the first time they'd ever been away from each other, was to do this show.
These two, there's
and to be in quarantine. Oh man, it killed.
They have like an old lady comedian type of humor sometimes too. Like the older one was acting like, kept waving her finger at her, like, yeah. I'm like, what are they doing? These people are a trip. They're in heels. They're just, because they're kind of tall looking.
Yeah, they are.
They're so adorable, yet also ancient,
cute.
like beings. They're from another universe. I love them. I don't. Are they going to make it to the group? No, probably not. But they will be entertainers. They need to do. They probably already do. Their YouTube channel. Just have them do cute mukbangs or go shopping and just be themselves. Those voices. They need to do voiceovers.
They're so good.
I mean, this has nothing to do with K-pop because they're just on another planet. But
they're playing 4D chess. They're playing a whole other game than everyone else there.
Serious question. We'll move on because I don't want to talk.
Okay, we've gone too long.
Serious question.
What?
Do you think? I do believe this. At least one of the twins. Do they want to actually take this opportunity to become better singers and dancers? I think so.
And sure. I think if they were taking it seriously. That's why she got so upset in the practice, and they were trying so hard to do it right, and got so upset that they cried. But they wanted to, so I can't wait to see what else that they do and how they can learn, and like they're taking this seriously. They're funny just naturally, but they are taking this seriously.
There's another character in this story we'll probably get to soon from China as well, who is like her, a bit of a victim of what people think of them. And this is the story of these two. What are
I think that's our last group.
This is her, yeah.
So the last group we had.
She's Fa Yaning, right?
Yes. Okay. Well, before I get into them, there were some other performances that they skipped over and didn't show the whole thing.
Right.
They've been since posted on the YouTube. We rewatched them. There wasn't really anything that stood out, so I don't really have much to say about any of them. But there were like 3 or 4 performances that they kind of didn't show the whole performance.
Violetta wasn't great, but they tried.
Yeah, there was a group that did Violetta. So I don't really have much to say about them. We're still not through all of their performances. There will be more in the second half. So there's a lot of people who we haven't seen. We haven't seen Momo. We haven't seen.
People are like, "Where's Momo?" I'm like, next week.
But anyway, so I just want to say that too. But this is the last performance that they showed the full performance of. Is the C group Strong Girls that did CLC Helicopter. This is the group that in the teaser they showed her kind of dissing at Yujin because they're doing her song, and she said, "I'm going to do it better than the original" and stuff like that. It wasn't better than the original. She's how do I do this? A lot of people online are being very harsh towards her for this kind of bad attitude and other things.
And other things she's done. But this is her story. This is the journey that she's on.
She's on her own journey.
And I'm being serious. If you're listening and you happen to be younger, if you've stayed this long, the old people talking about this weird show, good. But you have to think, if you want to leave her a hate comment, whatever, she has got to learn from that and learn from this and either become a better person and change her story, because you will not last in a K-pop group doing any of that.
No,
not at all. They're already canceling K-pop kids left and right now. Yeah. She just hopefully somebody takes her side and says, be careful.
I thought it was like Mnet's using this as a story. They need a rivalry.
They've never needed one before though. But
so they've created one.
I don't think
between
it'll
her
last.
and Yujin from CLC. They are using it as a story to get people to watch. She's clearly okay with that and going along with it.
No, I think hers will be a redemption arc,
and knows
story.
That
hopefully, I don't
she's
know.
being this way. The only thing they really said in the show was like, "Hey, this isn't show me the money. You're not here to have a diss battle." And the only thing I have to add about the discourse related to Yaning is that I think it's important. Could I do this? I would sit her down and say, "What's the prize here? What do you win at the end of this show? Tell me what it is that you win.
You're not getting a solo career.
You don't win this. This is a team sport, everyone.
Yeah, very much.
You as an individual don't win in this show. You and 8 other girls are going to be in a group together and going to be with each other every waking hour for years. So, and this is hard work, and you're going to spend a lot of time with these people. You're going to live with these people. This is not the prize here isn't something that you get on your own. You're going to have to be in a relationship with the people that you win, anyone who wins this in the end. It's a group. It's a team at the end of the day. It's not you shining as an individual. and you can't walk through this with the attitude, I'm going to stomp on everyone till the top.
That's my
because
character trait,
there isn't a top. There is a top 9.
Yeah.
And if that's the way you think about things, and that's the way you want to work as a singer or whatever, then you should be going as a solo artist and like pursuing fame on your own.
Yeah,
and maybe that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she's playing 4D chess and we're all the idiots.
No, I think that
that sort of attitude, that competitive, rude,
it wasn't terribly
it wasn't horrible.
It was a bit. They pushed her into it a bit.
It was competitive, sassy.
But yeah, let's stop
whatever.
it. Let's give up on that now, though.
That sort of attitude. It doesn't fly, I think, with Korean fans.
It's distasteful.
It doesn't fly with Western fans.
People like these shows because they make you feel.
So I'm not sure who it flies with or who she's like thinking she's going to impress exactly.
There is something to be said though, for there is a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Being a Chinese group coming to a Korean show.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There
are layers and layers.
There's a lot. She has some pride, or she's trying to express. I'm not saying she should or shouldn't, whatever. And of course, her past behaviors. That's all something she's going to have to figure out herself. So I do think that it's very possible she's created or encouraged, or maybe she is in reality starts to try for some kind of redemption. She realizes I got to stop this train before I can't get off it. It might already be that it might already have left the station because of her past behavior.
I don't know if they're gonna keep on with this rivalry story arc with her and this attitude, or if they're gonna like let her try and redeem and be a good teammate again. Okay, that's all I want to say about this. With relation to the performance, they did well. She is quite good individually.
She's a good rapper. Yes.
Like, I'm not gonna say that she can't perform. She was a good performer. Yeah. She did well. I'm not gonna say that because.
But she can only do that dismissive head tilt twice in her life, and it's done. You can't do that more than twice in your life, and even then it looks coached or something.
The group as a whole was good. She was
right, but nobody's talking about them. And here's the thing: you do that in a group. You do that in a group.
For the rest
they
of her
kick
teammates.
you out of the group. If you could have 3 albums under your belt, they kick you out of the group. You are no longer. Let's ask Wonho about that or whatever.
Wonho didn't do anything wrong.
I'm not saying. That's what I'm saying. Is they don't.
Don't even bring that up.
That's what I'm saying. Is that a group doesn't have to have even the perception of something going against what they normally, and they're like, we want nothing. Yeah. If she thinks she can get away with that in a group,
I don't think there's
you have to do far less to get
for,
booted out of a group. You don't even have to do anything and you get booted out of the group.
I don't think there's room for that kind of negative
it's
energy.
Not fun. It's not K-pop.
Anything even remotely looking like bullying in this industry right now.
This does illustrate a point, though.
Not room for
if she went and the people getting a group together, she's with CLC at some point. I'm sorry, Yujin at some point. Especially younger listeners, if you still are listening, they often in a group. Not everybody does get along, but they put on that appearance. Well, so people don't. There is some drama that can happen in all sorts of ways. But this is not K-pop.
We're talking in circles.
Yeah, we don't want to. What she did was not. I just thought this isn't that show. Right. This is a show where people come together and help each other. It makes you feel good.
We want it to be wholesome. Right. We went. You went through wholesome, all produced 48 in the end. All the girls IZ*ONE got along. They had great chemistry. This is a team sport. The prize in the end is 9 people who work really well together.
Right. Can you name the standout from IZ*ONE? No, they all had a good...
Yeah. So anyway, that was too long.
Anyway, the rest of the group did well as well.
Okay. We spent too long talking about that. Anyway, the rest of the performances I already slightly mentioned. There were some that were skipped over. The rest of them...
Go watch them. They're fun.
Will be next time. It starts out, they cut it off midway through to have a cliffhanger with Yujin's performance of Bubble Pop by Hyuna.
I don't know what it is about Yujin. I'm pulling for her. She just seems so sweet.
She's
I hope
she's like the polar opposite. She seems like such a humongous sweetheart, and
but I don't know.
I don't know what the storyline air quotes they're going to have for her is. In the preview, she was crying after the performance.
I don't. It's happy cry.
It might have been happy cry for them telling her how amazing she was, and then she's in the top 9 candidates. We don't know.
Who knows? It's hard to say.
But
that's the thing.
I hope that. I will say, I hope that they don't. I was thinking about this earlier. How to put this. I don't want them to patronize her about having been in a group and been in the industry for so long and treat her as like the poor your group
No,
wasn't
everything will be the
popular
opposite.
enough or
I think they'll
something,
be like,
and
we're
that's
going
why
to be
you're
harder
here.
on you. You've had an album or 3, and you've
No,
been
but
on
I
the
don't want
stage.
that patronizing. Oh, this is your second chance, isn't it sad? Like they did with Gone and Produced 48, and then rigged her out of the group in the most cruel thing that you could
Yeah,
ever do.
that was a different-
Was they did the
yeah.
poor, girl who needed a second chance and
she had
who
it.
still wanted her
She got him
to
and
be
did
in the
not.
industry, but her group wasn't working out.
Yeah.
And then everyone agreed and said yes, and then voted her into the group, and then they rigged her out. Like, I don't want that sort of like patronizing thing to happen
Yeah.
with Yujin. I want them to just take her.
I
as
think they
is
will.
and
I think
treat her
they
with
got a
respect.
good balance so far.
I don't know.
I like the help coaches and stuff so far. We haven't seen them much.
We haven't seen much of the coaches, but
Well,
anyway.
we love projecting, though.
So that was episode 1.
Good. It's a good episode.
It was good.
I want to watch it again.
Yes. So the actual voting for first round doesn't start until the 13th because again we haven't seen everyone's
I'll
performances
vote, but
yet.
honestly, there's too many. I couldn't even pick one.
The vote that is weighted such that Korean viewers get 50% and then the other 50% is the rest of
I think
us.
I think it's fine.
It's
a Korean
it's
produced
fine.
show.
It's a Korean produced show. It will be a K-pop group in the end. So there are more than top 9 candidates. How they whittle that down and work that out.
Fight. They're gonna have a fight.
Maybe.
Weapons. Battle Royale style. It's gonna be the
style.
bloodiest 48 style show ever.
Hunger Games.
The twins are gonna kill everybody.
They
like,
aren't top 9
Oh,
candidates.
chop, chop, like chop, chop.
They're not top 9 candidates.
And when they kill somebody, like chop them, they'll go chop, make a funny sound like chop. The twins are gonna rule everything. They're gonna be like at the end of the show, they're gonna be doing number 1 and 2, doing just that shtick, the same song every time too. And people will not get enough, and they'll be world famous.
They're gonna it's gonna be this dramatic replay, and they get the head turn exactly synchronized.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's everything. That's the most people are expecting from them. So.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Good episode.
Thank you, everybody.
Go watch the live
Thanks for
performances. You
listening.
won't regret.
Please leave a comment and let us know what you think. And
Love you.
is that how you ended the episode?
I was doing heart
Love
symbol
you.
like that when they left the stage. You do heart symbol.
Okay. Thanks everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.